What the heck is going on with some of the illustration rares from the Scarlet and Violet era? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be going over a few illustration rares that have kind of popped off or fallen off, and they're just kind of random and whack. Starting off with the Drowzee and talk about like random and whack. Over 6 months, it has had one of the best performing percentage gains that we've seen out of like a card from Scarlet and Violet base. Was 75% gain starting out 6 months ago at $6.01 at 1 cent, and has gone up to $10.53. This one is drawn by Tomokazu Kamiya, who is a fan favorite artist. People absolutely love Kamiya, and I think that is why this card is getting attention. It's not like Drowzee is the most popular Pokemon. It is Gen 1, but it's not like uber super popular. It's not like Charizard or like Greninja. I don't know. But it's interesting. It is a beautiful artwork, but this card has really popped off. Another card that we're looking at today is the Ralts from Scarlet and Violet base set. And Scarlet and Violet base, like it's kind of been doing well. Over the course of 3 months, it's actually lost 5 percentage points. But if we look over the course of 6 months, it went from like a $9.46 card all the way up now to $15.24. And it's kind of cool, like, even though it's lost a bit in the last 3 months, in the last like month or so, it's still awesome to see that, this beautiful card is kind of in demand, like a set that really got the crap beaten out of it, Scarlet and Violet base. People hated it. It's awesome to see that people are, I guess, starting to like these cards. I assume it's a little bit organic if we look at the amount sold here. 46, 28, 41, 29, 27, 49. Like, those are reasonable numbers, so I don't think that there's anything suspicious going on. I just think people are starting to like it a bit more, which is cool. Looking at Groudon now, this is one of the more popular ones from Scarlet and Violet in general from Paradox Rift. I believe it's got to be like the top 5 or top 3 illustration rares based off of price. Like you have the Eevee that's up there, the Magikarp, and then I think this has probably got to be like 3rd or something, maybe 5th, I don't know. Anyways, over the course of 3 months, it's actually lost a good little bit, 6.56%. Started off at $51 and has since come down to $47. And over the course of 6 months, it's still grown from like a $26 card, gaining like $20. So what's interesting to see though is these prices are kind of starting to come down a bit from the illustration rares. And we're kind of seeing that with some of the bigger cards like this one. Even though it's kind of small, it's still kind of happening. Moving on to Squirtle from Scarlet and Violet 151, and this guy has gone absolutely ballistic over 3 months. I wouldn't say like ballistic, that's kind of over exaggerating, but it's done really, really well. I mean, look at this. $26 all the way up to $31 plus 20%. $5 in 3 months is not too bad. This card is beautiful. Look, he's just chilling in the ocean, that beautiful sunny water. I mean, looking at this card just makes me so envious. Y'all, I live in the Northeast and I have not seen the sun in like genuinely 10 days. It's so depressing here right now. So I'm a little bit envious of that guy chilling in the water. Beautiful card, fan favorite Pokemon, and it's still kind of going up, especially if we look at the month graph. It's still making moves in the upward trajectory. And I think we're going to see a lot more creeping up cards from Scarlet and Violet 151 because so far there's no reprint, no major restock yet. Like, we're not, seems like we're running out of product of 151. Moving on to this Squirtle from Stellar Crown, and this guy I just wanted to cover just because he was really cool and I like the other Squirtle as well. But this is, I don't know why it's showing me damage holofoil. If we look at near mint, this is a $41 card, And over the past month, obviously, release was like the 13th, so it went from $40. It stayed at $40, and that's kind of interesting that it hasn't fallen off a lot. Usually with a new set release, prices will fall off a ton. And that's kind of why I wanted to put this in there, because it's just kind of stayed the same. It hasn't gained or like lost a ton. Obviously, you see here the negative 15%, but the set came out on the 13th, I believe. So $40 to $41 is like, it gained a little bit of money, which is funny. So yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to put in there because it hasn't gone down yet. Looking at the Maushold from Paldea Evolved, which is a killer set, absolutely awesome. And this I wanted to take a look at over the past 6 months. You see here that it's down 8%, and it was like $11, went all the way up to like $12, almost $13, and it's since come down to $10.39. But if we take a look at this, I guess over the year, it had a pretty big high, which is interesting that it had a high when none of the other illustration rares were really getting that much hype. And yet this guy has kind of come downwards a little bit in a time where a bunch of illustration rares were getting a lot of hype. It's a beautiful card though. I just kind of wanted to put it in there because it's a little bit different. It's really cool, wearing a little mushroom. It's adorable. It's an adorable card. Looking at Hisuian Growlithe from Twilight Masquerade, and over the course of 3 months, it has really taken a dip. Negative 24% on the month, $8.84 at its peak. It was like a $10.25 card, and it's down to $6.64, which for this card matched up with the special illustration or Perrin, which is a pretty expensive card. I would have thought that this would have been a bit more expensive, but I'm sure glad that it's not. I'm going to pick this up probably at $6 price point. Like, this is awesome. I love Growlithe. I love the Hisuian Growlithe. Like, this is sick. It's sick. But I just kind of wanted to point out that this guy is really tanked in price. Looking at Yveltal from Paradox Rift, another one that had super big spike when all the other illustration rares had gone up, but it's kind of come down a good little bit. Started 3 months ago at $16.10, and that was its peak, and it's come down now to $12.90, so a bit more affordable of a card. Really awesome artwork. Got the legendary Yveltal right there. It's really sick. But its peak was that like $16, and it's since come down since then. Looking at Metagross from Temporal Forces, this is a sick card. Like, this is a lovely, lovely illustration. And over the course of 3 months, it's actually up 7.58% at $11.36. See here, the low is like $8, since come up to $11. Over the course of, I'll do 6 months here, it was like a $5 card for the longest time. It really just shot up after that. And it's cool. It's still, I guess, gaining in price, and it's a neat artwork. You know, it's sick. Yeah, just wanted to say it's up a little bit. And the last one is going to be the Ninetales that we're going to be covering. And I hate when TCG Player does this. They act like I want to see lightly played listings, but I don't. I want to see near mint only. Once again, beautiful artwork. Obsidian Flames doesn't have a lot. It's a pretty smaller set. Not everybody is a huge fan of it. There's like a few special illustration rares, there's a few illustration rares, but none of them are expensive at all because they're pretty easy to pull in comparison to other sets. But over the course of 3 months, this guy's gone from $11 up a little bit to $12. And over the course of 6 months, it's gone from $5 and it's pretty much doubled plus some. So this card is still kind of on the up, it looks like. Especially in the month graph, it's still making percentage gains, which, you know, good for Obsidian Flames, I guess. But this is a beautiful card. It really is. It's stunning. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate you watching this. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And yeah, appreciate you. Peace.